Now at 7:05, the Archers and Debbie's out for a ride.
Nice morning for a ride.
Isn't it? And we both needed one. I haven't had time to take Tolly out all week.
I heard you were working full-time at home farm.
Not to mention part-time for Nelson. Well, I worked late yesterday evening, and Tolly needed some exercise, and I did look at some damaged jumps on the riding course on the way.
You don't need to justify yourself to me. You look well on it any road.
Yeah. Well, we must have come miles. I wasn't even sure we were still in the country park.
Oh, yes, you are. Although the Grundys seem to treat this bit as an extension of Grange Farm.
I ought to be getting back, actually. I'm supposed to be meeting Elizabeth in Borchester for lunch.
Well, give me a minute. I can probably show you a shortcut. I just need to get hold of my young assistant.
Oh, who's that?
William Grundy. I was just giving him a little lesson on woodcraft.
Oh.
William? William?
Really? What does Eddie have to say about that?
Oh, he's on holiday and Joe doesn't seem to care what he does. It's a pity, you know. He's a bright little lad.
Mr. Barford, come quick.
Hey up, William. Whatever's the matter?
Have you hurt yourself?
There's a badger caught in a trap. Come quick, we have to save it.
All right. Now, don't panic. Just show us where it is and we'll see what we can do.
Shall I come too? Tolly will be all right for a bit.
Oh, yes, please, Debbie. We might be grateful for an extra pair of hands.
It's this way, listen. Can you hear it?
I've tied Tolly up.
It's probably just frightened. Badgers are very tough. Now, what sort of trap is it?
A fox snare. It's like Dad's.
So, it's got caught in the wire, has it? Ah, poor devil.
It's only little, a cub, I think. So the noose is right round its middle.
And the more it struggles, the tighter it gets.
Well, you'd be surprised what they can survive.
Here it is. Can you do anything?
Oh, poor thing. It looks as if it's been here some time.
Yeah, probably got caught last night.
Can you help it? It's not going to die, is it?
No, of course not. Now, I want you to listen carefully, William. I need you to fetch some things from Grange Farm. Can you do that?
Of course I can.
I want a pair of wire clippers to cut the wire and a big sack.
What do you want the sack for?
Oh, we've got to take it to the vet in something, haven't we?
Do you want me to come with you, William?
No, I'll be quick on my own. Won't be long.
Do you really think you can save it?
Oh, hi. It's saving me you need to worry about.
Why?
Well, getting the cutters round the wire isn't going to be pleasant for Mr. Brock, and he's liable to take it out on whoever's nearest.
Ah.
You'd better stay here and count me fingers for me.
So that's the casting as it stands.
I see. You haven't got very far.
Well, as I think I've explained, there have been one or two problems.
Yes, of course, if it had been handled differently. Oh, well, no use crying over spilt milk.
I don't think even you, Linda, could have cured Mrs. Potter's arthritis.
I wasn't suggesting I could. Anyway, I don't need to worry about her anymore, do I? Her reminiscence is going into the exhibition, but I'm not quite clear about Martha's position.
Oh, well, Martha doesn't want to go wandering round the village either.
Well, maybe she doesn't, but she's perfectly capable of doing it. Look at the way she whizzes around on her bike.
That's what I said to her, but it made no difference.
Well, we'll see. It would be a pity not to put her material in the play. It opens up Jennifer's script so much, don't you think?
I haven't really had a chance to read Jennifer's script properly. I've been too busy trying to raise the money, sort the cast out.
It's a bit difficult to cast a play if you haven't read it. Pat, you don't mind if I take over where you've left off?
I thought that was the whole idea.
I mean, I don't want to tread on anybody's toes.
Really?
But I can hardly start rehearsals with half the cast missing.
Yeah, you go ahead, cast who you like.
You're giving me carte blanche?
Well, you'll find you haven't got too much choice. Not many people want to do it.
Oh. Oh, well, we'll see. Now, what else was I going to ask you? Oh, costumes.
I hadn't got around to doing anything about that, funnily enough.
So you don't mind if I...
I'll be my guest.
And, this exhibition?
No, I wouldn't interfere with that.
No, I wasn't planning to interfere. Jennifer seemed only too keen that I should help.
Yes, I know, but I don't think Marjorie needs any help. She's got it all under control.
Well, if you're sure.
Oh, yes, Caroline's helping her with the photographs and Susan's typing up the appropriate reminiscences.
I shall still need to liaise to make sure there's no duplication with the play material.
Oh, surely Jennifer will be doing that.
Oh, dear Jennifer, I'm sure she'll do her best with the script, but I'm afraid the practicalities of the project quite pass her by, don't they?
Yes, they do.
She sounded so relieved when I said I could take some of the burden from her shoulders.
Really?
Well, you've been doing sterling work, I know, but you are deserting us at rather a critical time, aren't you?
Well, I'm sorry, Linda, but I'm afraid my commitment to this project doesn't run to sacrificing my holiday. Talking of which, since you seem to have everything so well under control, if you'll excuse me, I think I'll go and start my packing.
Hello, Elizabeth.
Oh, hello, Usha. Haven't seen you for ages. Come and sit down.
Just for a moment. I'm actually taking Nick to lunch, but he got caught up with a client just as we were leaving.
I'm supposed to be meeting Debbie.
But she's late too?
Yes. I hope she won't be long. We haven't had a good old chinwag for ages. I'm looking forward to it.
I wish I could join you. I'm afraid my lunch appointment may be a bit awkward.
But Sheila said you were getting on very well with Nick.
Oh, I was. Till my moving plans fell through. I promised him the flat over the office when I went.
Oh, I see.
And now he's really putting the pressure on me. Well, his digs are awful.
Yeah, but you can't move if you've got nowhere to move to.
No. And of course there doesn't seem to be any movement on Blossom Hill Cottage from what Shula says, despite this new offer.
But surely that's...
Elizabeth, I'm sorry I'm late. I've been rescuing a badger.
I think that's the most original excuse I've ever heard, and I'm a lawyer.
No, really, I have.
I believe you. Sit down and tell us all about it.
I ought to go, actually. I've just seen Nick, and I'd rather get it over with. See you later, perhaps.
Yeah, I hope so.
Bye. Bye.
Oh, dear. Is she having problems with him?
Yeah, he wants to move into her flat. Is white wine okay?
Yes, please, thanks.
Anyway, now she can't have Blossom Hill Cottage. It's funny, she didn't seem to know that Richard had made the other offer.
Oh, I'm not surprised. It's confidential.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Oh, dear, I nearly let it out. There you go.
Oh, thanks. Oh, I shouldn't let it worry you. I'm surprised Gran didn't. She's so chuffed to be selling to a doctor.
Did you know he'd left us?
No. Why, couldn't I just stand the mess he made any longer?
No, Nigel will miss him. It just wasn't very convenient for Richard, really. You know, phones and everything. He'll be much better off with Mrs. Antrobus.
Ah. I'll say, waited on hand and foot. Will suit him down to the ground.
Yeah. It was nice for Nigel to have some male company, though. He's feeling a bit sensitive about his men friends since he can't find a best man.
He's got the best woman. What more does he want?
Oh, yes. But anyway, I can't join in with all their jolly japes, can I?
Yeah, good thing, too, I should think. What jolly japes are these?
Well, they've sent this letter to Darrington, luring some of their best players. Oh, wait a moment. I think that was supposed to be a secret, too.
Oh, don't worry, Elizabeth. Their secret is safe with me.
There, he looks happy, doesn't he? Really at home.
Yeah, but you remember what Mr. Stokes said? You're only keeping him until he gets better.
I know.
Wild animals belong in the wild.
Yeah, but he's hurt.
It won't take him long to get better. Now he's had his wounds stitched and those antibiotic injections.
Yeah, about them.
Yeah?
I don't know when I can pay you back. I could save him my pocket money.
Oh, don't be daft. Nobody's expecting you to pay.
Bet's too expensive, Dad says, and I found him.
And you're going to look after him. That's your contribution. Now, you know what you're going to feed him on?
Tin dog food, carrot, peanuts, and... Oh, there's something else.
Ah, William, hello. I was looking for your grandfather.
Oh, he's in the house.
Well, he's not answering the door. Good heavens, is that a badger?
Well spotted.
Well, what's a badger doing in your pigsty?
He was hurt in a trap, and I found him when Mr. Barford got him out.
Did he? But I thought they were a protected species. Don't you need a licence to keep a badger in captivity?
I'm not keeping him captive. I'm just looking after him till he's better, and then we'll let him go.
Exactly.
Yes, but, well, are you sure this is the best place for him?
Oh, yes, Mr. Barford says so.
A pigsty does make quite a good badger pen. It's got a metal door, which is the main thing. Otherwise, he'd scratch his way out in no time.
Would he?
Ooh, yes. Great escape artists, badgers.
Well, I suppose if you're keeping an eye on
And
him.
we're going to get in touch with the local badger group as well, aren't we, William?
I can look after him.
Of course you can. Now, are you going to take Mrs. Snell in to see your granddad?
He won't want to see her.
He might. I've come to offer him a part in the community play.
He's writing something. He says he doesn't want to be disturbed. Can I have a part?
We'll see about that. Now, George, I believe you've offered to do the music.
That's right.
Yeah, well, I shall need to talk to you sometime then. There's so much to organise, I don't know what Pat's been doing with herself.
Oh, I think she's been pretty busy.
We're not in the right directions. In fact, if Joe's really incommunicado, I must go and see Martha.
Well, don't let us keep you.
Bye then, and you be careful with that voucher, William.
I will be. Why did she say that?
No, take no notice.
I'm going to look after him and feed him, even if I have to buy him special stuff. I wish I got lots of money to spend on animals.
So you really are happy at home, Farm?
Oh, yes, I'm sure I've made the right decision. I feel, well, it's where I belong. It's my home.
Yes, I know what you mean. I'm starting to feel that way about Lower Loxley.
I think what really made the difference was when Dad offered to put up the money for the partnership. That's when I knew he really had my best interests at heart.
And what you didn't?
When it came to making any real kind of sacrifice for me, he just didn't want to know.
A bit like the judgment of Solomon.
Yes, I suppose it was.
Well, as long as you're happy.
I am. I do feel bad about leaving Nelson in the lurch, but I'm working my notice out.
Well, you'd better hurry up and find someone else. Kenton's getting really impatient for his money.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, it's not your fault. Besides...
Thank heavens that's over. Do you mind if I come and join you for a moment?
No, of course not.
How did it go?
I had to offer him money in the end.
Good heavens, to do what?
A cash allowance so he can afford to find somewhere nicer to live for the time being. But I don't think it's going to keep him happy for long.
I think that's very good of you. I'm sure most bosses would think where he lived was his own affair.
I want to keep him.
Maybe it's worth it then.
If I have to keep subsidising him in like this, I might as well have offered more for Blossom Hill Cottage in the first place. What's your aunt like, Debbie?
Lillian? Oh, well, we're not that close.
Living in Guernsey, you don't see her much, do you?
It must be quite a responsibility for your grandmother, having to sell her daughter's property.
Well, it's not as if Lillian needs the cash desperately or anything.
I thought she wanted to set James up in a flat in London.
Oh, no, she doesn't like to have her assets lying around doing nothing. She's a very shrewd businesswoman.
Oh, really? Well, that's very sensible of her. Must run in the family.
Oh, you think we're a sensible family, do you?
Well, maybe not to you.
Thanks. Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
But what's this Shula tells me about Nigel keeping your honeymoon destination secret?
What, you mean you still don't know?
Outrageous. I'd have had it out of him in 5 minutes.
Easier said than done.
But you'll have to find out. How are you going to know what to pack?
Swimming costume. Hope it still fits.
Pat!
Oh, no. In here, Linda. Mustn't forget Tommy's goggles. Flippers.
Oh, here you are. Good heavens, are you going to fit all that in?
Oh, you haven't seen the pile of stuff on Helen's bed yet.
Oh, I see. Well, I was hoping you'd have a chance to sit down and look through this with me.
Oh, what is it?
A rehearsal schedule.
Oh, do you really need me to?
I think it might help.
Well, look, couldn't you just read it out to me? Then I can carry on with this.
Oh, I suppose so. It's not very satisfactory, though. I don't know if you'll get the overall picture.
Oh, I expect I'll manage. Carry on.
Well, I think I should warn you. I have made a few changes.
Oh, what a surprise.
I'm sorry?
I'm sure they're for the best.
Well, I think so. Martha, for example. It was clear to me that her memory of the winter of 47 was the centrepiece from which all the other accounts radiated.
Oh, was it?
Don't you agree?
To be frank with you, Linda, I really can't remember.
But it was so moving. Walking miles through the snow to visit her young man.
Oh, he can't have been that young, surely, even in 1947.
Her one chance of happiness buried in a 30-foot drift.
I thought that was going in the exhibition.
Cold words on a wall. Oh, no, it has to be given life.
Oh, if you say so.
But she wasn't down on your rehearsal schedule.
Well, that's because she told me she wouldn't do it, as I told you this morning.
Well, I went to see her this afternoon and persuaded her to change her mind.
Good for you.
Oh, you sure you don't mind?
No.
Well, I don't want you to feel I'm taking over.
But you are, Linda, and that's fine by me. You can rehearse Martha riding a penny farthing reciting T.S. Eliot for all I care, because I'm going to be in the Algarve.